baby love. So nice to see you. Can I bring this closer without causing difficulties? No, I can't. So it is. You can choose how long people are muted. Well, that's good. Please don't be over-enthusiastic. Most comments can stand. I'm glad you can mute for just a minimal amount of time. What do you think my pronouns are? You can guess. You let me know. I'm not doing too great today. Been rather depressed for the last few days. But I'm glad to be here right now with all of you. It's pretty special. I say that every time, but it really is amazingly special. Shema Yisrael Asher Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Shema Yisrael Yahweh Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Listen, Israel. Yahweh Eloheinu Asherah. All these gods are one. Echad means one. Where did I get this dress? Someone I live with gave it to me. It's a little rag girl dress, right? It's super ratty, stained. I've been farming in it, so it's covered in dirt. But it fits me really well. So I wear it. What language? Language is Hebrew. And the book is Deuteronomy. And these words are 2,500 years old. And I say them every day. Because it gives me comfort to be part of a living tradition that is far older than me and that will exist long after I am gone. I find that comforting. Yes, you can be friends with me. It'll be a kind of parasocial relationship because I don't know what you look like or anything about your life. But I do care about you in the capacity that I have. And I do want to be your friend, a parasocial friend. I've not been dumpster diving lately, no, because I haven't been going into the university as much. I will post some dumpster videos soon. The algorithm likes it when I do that. I'm glad you hope my spirits perk up. Yeah, sometimes I just get sad. I don't really understand why. Sometimes the body just gets sad. And I think it's okay. I don't know. Sometimes I'm not sure who I am. But when I get on here, I don't have to worry about who I am, because instead I can just perform a person that I'd like to be. And that is very comforting. I'm not going to dress up for Halloween. No. But I'll stream. I'll dress up like this. This is dressing up. What is my favorite kind of music? My favorite kind of music is the kind of music that I can sing with others. ואהבת את ענת אלוהיך ובכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודייך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאוהות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Yeah, so that tree, here's another version of the tree. There's many versions of it. It's the tree of life. So this is the phylogenetic tree that connects you to every other living creature that ever existed on this planet. 3.8 billion years ago, our last common ancestor was alive. We've called her Luca, last universal common ancestor. They were a single-celled prokaryote that gave rise to every single one of us. And I draw trees like this one, or there's another one on my foot. I draw trees like this to remind myself. I need regular reminders. I draw trees like this to remind myself that we're all one, that we're all connected. We all contain one another, like a serpent that eats its tail. And someone asked if I often feel confused, and I imagine that person is basically a troll, but I do often feel confused. Perhaps not confused about what you think I'm confused about, but reality is overwhelming. Did you know? Reality is overwhelming, and it's often confusing. Charlie, I used to be a boy. That's what it means. There was a time I was confused about my gender. I'm less confused about my gender now, but I'm still confused about who I am and who I'm supposed to be. What this reality is that I find myself embedded in. What are my aspirations in life, and how do I plan on accomplishing those? I'd like to be a rabbi. I'd like to help people find meaning in their lives, because I need help finding meaning in my life. So really, it's selfish. Really, it's selfish. But, no, I think as a whole, our society lacks ways to connect to what is real. What is a WCW? Why would I change what God made me? Baruch atah Yahweh, Eloheinu melech haolam, shelo ashani isha. I repeat the name of Yahweh Eloheinu, who did not make me a woman. I did. I did a pretty damn good job. Baruch atah Asher, anatna lecha haolam asher yitzar et ha'adam bechachama uvara ve'or. I repeat the name of Asherah Anat, who made me with many openings and cavities. But of course, Asherah didn't do that. Yahweh didn't do that. I did all of those things. Every little piece of DNA in my body contributed to the body that I have now. And that's pretty special. Can we sing the Kaddish? We'll do Kaddish at the end. Kaddish, like, over wine, I don't typically do in the morning, because I don't have any wine to say Kaddish for. But I find the word Kaddish, very interesting. You can see it's my name. It's genuinely my name. I chose the name Tiresias. Kaddish is the name of my partner, so I guess I chose that too, but I didn't, come up with it. My partner's last name is Kaddish, and when I transitioned, I took her name. And it's a very ancient name, and it means all sorts of different things. If you look at the root Semitic, KDS, in English, KDS, Q, It's hard to know how it was pronounced, but it means holy in Hebrew. It's also the name of a goddess, Kaddish. Look at this goddess. Notice that she's riding a lion, and there's this Egyptian god next to her who's got a big old boner. Like, look at that. So there's a word in the Bible that is pronounced Kaddish, Kaddisha. I don't know how to pronounce anything, but it has the same root, and it means prostitute. So I just think that's amazing. That the word for holy, right, and the name for all of the standard prayers that we say every Shabbat when we bless the wine and we bless the bread, bless the light, we say Kaddish, right? And my name is Kaddish, and at the end of this stream, we'll say Kaddish for all of those people who have died in the last day or so, and means holy. It also means prostitute. Hi, baby love. Hi, how are you? Do I read the Bible? Yes. That is a text that I have studied a reasonable amount. I've not read all of it. Right now I'm in the middle of the book of Jeremiah, and I don't know when I'll get through that. It's a scary book, the book of Jeremiah. It's all about trauma and genocide. How long have I been pretending? My entire life. My entire life. V'chaya. Ki v'chaya Elohecha el ha'aretz asher nisbai lavatecha nevram li'Yitzchak u'Yaakov latet lach avrim gedolot v'tovot asher lo vanita uvatim mileim kol tova asher lo mileta uverot hatzavim asher lo hasapa keravim v'zitim asher lo natata ve'elachta v'shavata hishem elecha v'tishchach et Yahweh asher di'ishacha mi'eretz Mitzrayim mibet avadim. Jesus loves you, yes. Jesus loves you. Ve'ahavta et Yahweh Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'ele asher nochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'vitecha lechtecha havaderch uv'shachvecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ohot al yadecha v'chayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mizuzot beitecha u'visharecha. What's this about? What's going on? I wish I could tell you. I can try to tell you. I genuinely appreciate it if other people try to explain what's going on too, because I am not a singular representative of what's happening here. I'm just at the center. But what's happening here is social. It's communal. What language is it? It's Hebrew. I can tell you what it means. It means you should love Yahweh Eloheinu with all your heart and all your soul and all your might. And these words that I'm saying today, these words that I'm repeating today, that I repeat every single day until I get bored, which I'm never bored. These words that I repeat all the time, teach them. There's a mandate. The words themselves mandate that I teach them. And so I'm here today teaching these words. Teach them to your children. And recite them when you wake up and when you go to bed. And when you are out on the road, and when you lie down at night. You shall bind them as a symbol on your hand, and let them serve as a sign on your forehead, and inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. It's beautiful. You speak very well. I haven't heard anyone speak Hebrew before, so thank you. You're very welcome. That human is wondering if I'm transsexual, which by some definitions, sure, I am. I did change my secondary sex characteristics. We can argue about the difference between transsexual and transgender, but I don't want to. But yes, I used to be a boy. I'm very open about that. How did I find my community? I looked for a very long time. I found myself enmeshed in the Federation of Egalitarian Communities, which is a network of communes with shared culture and shared history. And I wandered around through that network until I found a group of people that I thought I could live my life with. And we started working together, and we built trust. It took many years. But today we all live together on this land. Stolen land, but it's still ours, even though it was stolen. And that's my life. That's my life. We're not off-grid, no. You have a question. What's your question, baby love? Is that incest burning a tiny candle? It is a tiny candle. Tiny candle. Stolen. Yes, this used to be Oneida land. That was... I said another prayer in Hebrew, and I didn't translate it for you because translating is a little bit of a downer, and so I've started not translating it, but I do say it. There's a bit in the book of Deuteronomy which reminds you that when you enter into the land full of houses that you did not build and cisterns that you did not hew, remember that you were once in the house of bondage, right? It's a land acknowledgement. This used to be Oneida land. Now it's colonist land. I don't speak Greek. Baby love, what's your question? You're looking for a community in San Diego. Does anyone have any leads? You can check out ic.org. It's a pretty good website. Am I talking about Israel? Yes, I am talking about Israel. Did you know that in the book of Deuteronomy, there is a land acknowledgement which recognizes that Israel was stolen by the Deuteronomists? It's pretty great. It's pretty great. It's pretty self-aware. It's lovely. I came upon a wedding that old families had contrived, with Bethlehem the bridegroom and Babylon the bride. Oh, great Babylon was trembling, and she stood there naked with me. And Bethlehem inflamed us both like the shy one at some orgy. And when we fell together, all our flesh was like a veil that we had to draw aside to see the serpent eat its tail. Oh. Some women wait for Jesus, and some we wait for Cain. So I'll hang upon this altar, and I'll hoist my axe again, and I'll take the one who finds me back to where it all began, back when Jesus was the honeymoon, and Cain was just the man. And we'll read from pleasant Bibles that are bound in blood and skin, that Asherah is gathering all her children back again. Alright, so many questions. Let's see. Yeah, baby love, you can mute people that misgender me. But also, like, you can also just let them be. Like, mostly you should just mute people that are taking up space in the chat. Like, if they're repeating the same thing over and over again and I'm ignoring it, like, you can mute them if it's hurtful. But, you don't need to mute them if it's just a one-off comment, basically, even if it's offensive. Alright, so, Deuteronomists, what is that song that I sang? Do I support Palestine? These are all interconnected issues. So, that song that I sang is a song by Leonard Cohen, right? And it's a song about serpents eating their tails. It's a song about how, when the Babylonians came and destroyed Israel, even at the time that they destroyed the nation and destroyed the city and destroyed the temple, the Deuteronomists, who we can de facto label as the priesthood that was in power at the time, knew that it was a kind of creation. It was a kind of rebirth. They were very aware of this, and they used the destruction of the temple and the destruction of the monarchy as a platform, an excuse, if you will, to rewrite the religion in their image. And so they consolidated monotheism, and they consolidated their hold on the land, right? They returned to a land of Judah that people before them had been cultivating, right? They returned to it after 100 years of exile, 80 years of exile, and they reclaimed it. And they wrote this in their book, that they were reclaiming their own land, right? And they recognized that there were other people that also had claims to that land. And they said, hey, remember Yahweh when you're in houses that you didn't build. Remember that he gave this to you and could just as easily take it away, because he did take it away. I don't know if that's coherent. I don't know if that answers your question. Basically, I see the current history of Israel and Palestine as a recapitulation of a pattern that has been happening for thousands of years, even though the particular reasons why Palestine is occupied today have more to do with European colonialism than Babylonian expansionism, but the ideologies are similar enough. I'm lost. Yeah, I've definitely lost the coherence of my explanation. I'm an Edomite. Maybe. Maybe I'm an Edomite. Perhaps. See, when you see repeated phrases like that, that's when you can mute them. That's when it becomes unnecessary, right? Spam. Yeah, mostly I just want spam filtered. Yes, I will mod you, Sarah. That was another thing that I wanted to do. Alright, let me go in here and do that. Admin settings, moderators. Okay. Sarah. Sarah Moss. Alright. Now you're a moderator. Yes, I'm female. Alright, so I learned a thing. About monarchs. There is a disease. Oh no. Hey there. There's a disease, called, what's the name of it? It's hard to pronounce. OE. If you read the comments of my most recent video about Beatrice, there's a really intelligent human who informed me of a disease that affects monarchs called OE, which is the Latin name of a prokaryote, not a prokaryote, sorry, a protist, that infects these butterflies and can cause their wings to emerge from the chrysalis ill-formed. And so it is extremely likely that this butterfly is suffering from this disease, and that is why his wings are the way that they are. So no, I can't just fix them by attaching a new wing, even though you did see that viral video about that. I can't do that for this butterfly. So this butterfly is simply here. And, hey, you. The nectar, the honey water solution that I've been feeding him got a little bit fermented today, so I'm afraid that I might have gotten him drunk. Oop. Yeah, he just pooped on me. Yeah, you're processing. I should get you some better nectar. Okay. So. Good morning, Jolie. So nice to see you again. Is this butterfly an Edomite too? Yes, this butterfly is from the land of Edom. Worshipping Edomite gods. How did you end up here? Well, you installed an addictive video sharing app, and you started scrolling through it, and it shows you things that you like and dislike. And, here you are. Kajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapita Jambupala Sarabakshitam Ummasitam Sakabinasakarnam Mahamatim Divyamayuravahanam Ridasyasinam Sarasarnanatam Guham Sadanam Saranam Prapadye Yaku Henduti Sarahadavala Yasupravasvarita Yavina Varanda Mandita Kara Yasveta Padmasana Ya Brahmachuta Sankarapatrapi Devasata Pujita Samampatu Saraswati Bhagavati Nihe Sajadyapa Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nisparanchaya Santaya Shri Shivanandaya Te Namaha Shri Vishnudevanandaya Te Namaha Om Sarva Mangla Manglaye Shive Savarta Sadike Saranye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostite Narayani Namostite Om The camera I'm using today isn't so good, so it's harder to see this butterfly. Am I reading the Quran over the butterfly? Not quite. That was a Sanskrit prayer that I learned at the Shivananda Monastery. Would you like another? Gentle enough to form a relationship with a butterfly. I suppose that's true. I suppose I can't deny that I have a relationship with this butterfly. I like him very much. Ishtaras. Hi. It's been some time. How are you doing today? I hope you're well. Have you met my butterfly? Wings are tattered and they cannot fly. A fairy and a butterfly. Yes, that's my image. It's the image I put off. I didn't realize your city was in lockdown. That sounds stressful. Triambakam yajamahe sugandim pushtivardhanam Varva rukami bhavandanan mrityar mukshiyam amritato Triambakam yajamahe sugandim pushtivardhanam Varva rukami bhavandanan mrityar Mukshiyam amritato Triambakam yajamahe sugandim pushtivardhanam Urva rukami bhavandanan mrityar mukshiyam amritato Sarvesham swastir bhavatu sarvesham shantir bhavatu sarvesham purnam bhavatu sarvesham mangalam bhavatu sarve bhavantu sukhina sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashantu makashid dukhabhag bhave asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityur mamritam gamaya purnamadam purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vishishate om shanti 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 Om peace, peace, peace. The language is Sanskrit. Sanskrit is an Indo-European language that developed in the Indian subcontinent about 2,000 years ago. It's not a made-up language, any more than English is made up. But yes, English is a made-up language too. Did you know? What am I doing? What are you doing? What I'm doing is what you're doing. We're doing it together. We're being here together. That's what we're doing. Sharing attention, sharing space, sharing intention. People hear another language and they instantly become confused. Because do you know that every single one of us has deep ethnocentric biases? Every single one of us. At every point in history, we've all had ethnocentric biases. Because we're human. We don't have familiarity with what is other, definitionally. And so we mistreat it often. A monarch butterfly. Yes, a monarch butterfly with tattered wings and a protist infection, so it cannot fly. Yeah, I can see those little spores. I don't want to pray to my maker, no. I just want to be feeling free. Not just who I am, but the pink in golden land and that wide, wild sky over me. Help me to the sun, hey, I'm looking everywhere. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer. And I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no, no, no. I don't want to pray, we don't want to pray. Pray, and it's not much good to talk, better to walk it. Ooh, not much good to take, better to give. We are done, forgiven, and forgotten of our sins, and I promise you, my friends, all that dies will live again. It's an important verse. Pardon, God and Mom. What I'm saying isn't fair. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer, and I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no, no, no. I don't want to pray, we don't want to pray. Pray. Love Allah, Allah made love, and Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. Asher, Asher, made good, and Anat, Anat made bad. Elohim made love, and Yahweh, Yahweh made hate. Love Allah, God made, God made, God made me. Except that's a lie. You know that, right? None of those gods exist. They're just a convenient fiction. And they're just stories that we made up in order to understand each other better. We make one another. Jolie, I'm so happy you're here. That you like the energy I'm putting out today. I appreciate hearing that. I've actually been rather depressed those last few days. And coming on here is a nice opportunity to remind myself why I'm here. I get to put on a face. And, I get to perform. Fake it till you make it, as they say, right? You can perform femininity until you're just really feminine. That's how it works. Can I update my white privilege video? In what sense? Do I actually want to get into that conversation with you right now? I don't think I do. Are you so glad that you got to see and check in on the butterfly? Yeah. He's here with me every day. I live stream with him whenever I stream. I think he's going to be around for a while. He seems fairly healthy despite the infection. Okay. I want to tell you the name of the infection because I actually think it's very interesting. So I have to look it up. What's the thing? Look in the comments. Who was telling me what the infection is? OE. There's a lot of comments. Seriously? Does it have OE? What is OE? It's right here. Ophocytosis electroscira is the name of a protist that infects monarch butterflies, and causes their wings to come out deformed. So that's what Beatrice has. How do I take care of it? Well, I feed them nectar. Yeah, I feed them flower nectar, just like this, flowers. And we had a frost last night, so all these flowers are dead, gone from the garden. So for the rest of the winter, until they die, I'm going to be feeding them diluted honey water. And that seems to be treating them okay. They seem to like it, fair enough. It's the same butterfly, yes. I just have one injured butterfly. I'm not a butterfly keeper, I just have one. Just one. Life and death, they remind me what death is. What life is. Hey, you. Good morning, everyone. Nothing needs to die for no reason. We all die for no reason. We die for the reason that we are alive. And that is the only reason why we die. What do I believe life and death are? I believe that they are intertwined. Good morning, Albie. I'm so happy to see you. I've been better. I've been better. But I'm in a pretty good mood right now. I really like performing. Did you know? I really like performing. I like being this person for you all. I like being this kind of calm, soothing character. It's really nice. Like, what a thing that I get to do with my life. It doesn't necessarily always matter how I feel in my deepest insides, right? That's not something I'm capable of sharing with you, even if I wanted to. I try, right? I make sad videos about butterflies because I'm sad. Right? I make sad videos about the seasons changing because I'm sad. Like, you can tell. You can see the stuff that I'm putting out. You can tell what kind of mood I'm in. But when I'm on here, when I'm on live, I get to perform a kind of calm happiness that allows me to actually feel that emotion. I can't perform the emotion if I'm not feeling it. So, I have a couple more prayers for you today. And then we're going to have breakfast. You love me virtually. I like the way you express that love. I really like that virtually caveat. Like, I think that's important. I think it's really important to understand the kind of relationship that we have and are capable of having. I say it like every stream, but it's because every stream I get these comments like, oh, I love you so much, I want to be your best friend. It's like, you're being honest. Like, you are being honest, and God, I've got so many parasocial crushes on people who are more talented and prettier than I am. And that's just the nature of the social internet. People tell me they're jealous of me. I'm like, yeah, that's what TikTok is designed to do. It's designed to make you jealous. That's how we communicate. I don't know. So yeah, the caveat that you love me virtually is really great. I love you virtually too. And we can acknowledge that that's not the same thing as like physical intimacy or just even like interpersonal friendship where we work in the same place or what have you. But it's still a kind of relationship and it's still a kind of love. I'm so jealous of your beauty. See, there you go, right? I believe you. And let me tell you, I see pretty girls on TikTok every day. So many thirst traps. So many thirst traps, and I get jealous. And I have friends who I'm jealous of. And it's okay, right? Like, I can recognize that jealousy and recognize that I don't need a body like theirs. I don't need a career like theirs. I can be myself, and it can be okay. It can be okay. The butterfly is still alive. Yes. Did I clip the wings? No. I just posted a video about it yesterday. You can look. You can actually watch. I have genuine footage of their wings falling off because they have an illness that makes their wings crumpled and brittle. Injured, yes. Question. You want to go diving, but when would you say is the best time to go? Late at night, particularly if you live in a big city. After midnight, if you live in one of the bigger cities like New York or LA. Where I live, I can go dumpstering after 9 because after the stores close. Otherwise, you might get into some sticky situations. You love my soul, my energy, and my positivity. Thank you. It's an act, but thank you. It makes me feel good to perform this. You're making me realize that there is some value to intentionally performing. Yeah. Yeah, it took me a while to realize that. Like, when I was younger, I really resented it. But then I had to transition. And, like, transitioning feels like performing. Like, forever. But, like, certainly the first few months or year that I was living as a woman, I felt like I was acting. And I was, right? And, like the phrase fake it till you make it is real. Right? Like the kind of joy that you see coming out of my face and out of my mouth right now, it's not it's not an illusion. Like, how do I say that it's we lack words, right? Like, it's a performance, it's artificial, I created it, but that doesn't mean that I'm not experiencing it. That doesn't mean that it's not affecting my body and my mind in a positive way, right? Even though it's artificial. And similarly, right, like, there are many aspects of my femininity that are artificial, right? I take artificial hormones. But that doesn't mean that it's not worth it. That it's not making me who I am, right? Like, every time you do, like, memory. Let's go with that track because I don't have the words to describe it currently. The word remember, right? Remember, re-embody. Like, a member is a physical form. It's a body. When you remember something, you are reenacting it in your body, right? So when I say Livia Hafta every morning, I'm remembering it. I'm re-embodying that prayer, and I make it real, right? And so whenever I perform an emotion, if I perform a kind of calmness or joy, or if I perform a kind of femininity, right, I'm remembering this and I'm replacing it in my body, and I become that thing, if only for a little while. And sure, there are other aspects of my personality that I'm not showing you because they're harder to show or more vulnerable to show, or just really it's just more difficult to show effectively. Like, how do I perform depression? I can't, right? Like, I come on here and just be mopey, like, you'd all leave. And I don't want you to leave. I like you here. You cheer me up. Yeah. So. That's what I have to say about that. That's what I think about that. Yes, it's a real butterfly. Everything you see is real. And everything you see is an image. I remind you of an elven fairy. Who do I pray to? I pray to you. I pray to Ashura. We're going to say a prayer now called Arati. Arati means flame in Sanskrit. Here's the little flame. Arati means flame or light. Hey, look, it's a redundant post. You can mute that redundant post. There you go. You hardly watch lives, but you like it here. I'm so happy. I hardly watch lives too. But I like this live. I like being here. Imagine being so miserable that you have to comment to strangers live and spread hate. Yeah. It's a funny thing. So Arati means light or flame. Why don't I pray to God? Well, okay, so we're gonna pray to God. Like that's what this paper has. This paper has the names of 50 or 60 names of God, Sanskrit gods in the Sanskrit language. And there's also some gods in Semitic languages. We're gonna talk about Jesus and Muhammad today. So this is just a list. This prayer, this arati, is simply a list of divine names. And they all come from a fairly coherent tradition. But that tradition emerged because it had to consolidate all of these tinier traditions together, right? Like, what is Hinduism? Hinduism is not actually a coherent religion. It's a bunch of tiny religions that have been woven together by a shared history. So we're going to say the names of various gods, and each one of them has a little story about it. We're going to start with Ganesh. Right, here's Ganesh. I'm going to start with Ganesh here for Arati. We're going to start with Ganesh, and then we'll move on to other god names. And I'm not necessarily praying to any of those gods. I'm not asking them to give me anything. It's more like I'm praying with them. I'm using their name as a tool to try to comprehend what God is, right? Because God isn't any of those names, right? That's the general insight, is that the names are artificial. The names are simply syllables. But when we say all of those syllables together in a row, they point at something beyond them or underneath them. And that is the thing that we actually want to connect with together here. Is that ring a butterfly? Or is a butterfly just chilling on you? There's a butterfly just chilling on me. Just chilling. Beatrice the butterfly. Can I put the prop down? No, actually I can't. Beatrice clearly wants to be here, right? Like, you can see me moving my arm all around, and he's just here. So, sure, you put me in touch with Christian pastor. I'll talk with them. Why not? Arati. Arati, Arati, Arati. We're going to say various names of God. Which Bible do I use? The Tanakh. That's the one. Jaya Jayarati Vina Vinayaka Vina Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jaya Jayarati Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jaya Jayarati Venugopala Venugopala Venuola Papa Vidura Navanita Chora Jaya Jayarati Venkanta Ramana Venkanta Ramana Sankata Harana Sita Rama Radhe Shama Jaya Jayarati Gauri Manohara Gauri Manohara Bhavani Sankara Samba Sadashiva Uma Maheshwara Jaya Jayarati Raja Rajeshwari Raja Rajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Mahashakti Jaya Jayarati Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumanta Jaya Jayarati Datta Jaya Datta Jaya Trimutriya Vatara Jaya Jayarati Adityaya Adityaya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jayarati Sanistaraya Sanistaraya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jayarati Sankarachaya Sankarachaya Advaita Gurave Jaya Jayarati Sadgurunata Sadgurunata Shivananda Jaya Jayarati Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Jaya Jayarati Agastya Munaye Agastya Munaye Shriyama Priyaye Jaya Jayarati Ayapa Samine Ayapa Samine Dharma Shastave Jaya Jayarati Jesus Gurave Moses Gurave Buddha Gurave Jaya Jayarati Muhammad Gurave Guru Nanak Gurave Samastya Gurubho Namaha Jaya Jayarati Venugopala Tvam natatra suyobati natandrakaratam nema vidyobati kutoya magni. Twameva bantamina bandi sarvam tasya basya samidam vivanti. Om gange kayomune kaiva govari saraswati. Narmade siddhikaveri hiya. Namastitam namo namaha. The language is Sanskrit, not Hebrew. From the Shivananda tradition. Tvameva mata chapita tvameva, tvameva bandusha saka tvameva, tvameva vidya javinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Kayena vacha manasendriyarva Pudyatmana va prakriti sabhavad Karomi adyad mangalam parasmahe Narayana iti sarmar payami Sarvadharmam pravichaya mimikam saranam vrija Aham sva sarva papayo mokshayami masucha. Whatever actions I perform with my body, speech, mind, senses, my nature, my intellect, or my emotions, all these I dedicate to you, little butterfly. To you, lovely audience. Even the mean ones. Thank you so much for being here today. Yes, isn't my Mon team awesome? Aren't they lovely? Butterflies! Shannon! That's very appropriate. Honestly, that is my favorite gift animation. I don't know if it's more expensive than roses. I don't think it is. Butterflies. Butterflies all the time. They're just good. Yes, Horus. I know the Egyptian gods, like the bird, which is the bald eagle. Yes, Horus is not quite a bald eagle. Bald eagles are North American. Horus is probably some kind of falcon. But yes, Horus is the god of kingship. Very similar to how Yahweh is a god of kingship. All of these ancient gods, they're all about kingship because they're trying to build the biggest, bestest institution with lots of violence. That's an inappropriate question to ask. I'll get some surgery someday, but that's up to me, not up to you. I'm always filled with so much joy when you're able to catch me in your lives. Well, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. What pronouns do you think I use? That's the question, really. Is there any intelligent conversation here? There is. There is. Many of you are extremely intelligent. You teach me things every day. Why would you want me to say that phrase? It is a butterfly. Butterfly named Beatrice. Real butterfly. So can I ask a question? When y'all are sharing these lives, where are you sharing them to? Are you like sending them to your friends? I get notified whenever you share the live, and there's a lot of shares today. It's nice. But I wonder where you post them. Where are you sharing them to? Silly Discord servers? Beatrice is strong. Maybe a little bit drunk. I think I've been feeding her fermented nectar. That's fine, Sarah. I trust your judgment. I have to trust your judgment because I'm not capable of keeping track of all of the things that happen in this stream. Like, generally speaking, I think I would prefer to be more lenient than my mods often are. I don't mind there being hostile people. As long as they're like literally not taking up space, right? Like that's the biggest thing is when people take up space in the chat because, you know, I can only read 3 comments at a time. And if those 3 comments are good comments, I can respond to each one of them. But sometimes people fill up the chat with blah, right? It doesn't really matter if they're saying Nazi propaganda or just like stupid clown emojis. Like it's still the same amount of space that gets taken up. And then I can't actually respond to other people who are being more thoughtful. I don't mind the hateful stuff. I just want to be able to read the not hateful stuff, you know? Snaggletooth lunatic. Who's that? Who might that be? What a reflection. So, one more prayer. Yes, 1,000,000 times. So that's totally fine for you to mute him or block him or whatever. It's a little scarf. And the very best free spirit, very calming, very intelligent, very vain. You know I like compliments. I do. I'm so calm. Yeah. Try. Beatrice. Beatrice the butterfly. What gender do you think I am? It's not raining, but my room has a lot of background noise because I've got heaters and air filters and all sorts of artificial things to keep the environment in here comfortable so that I can wear revealing clothing even though it's October, so that I can have your attention. So I have one more prayer for you today. The prayer is Kaddish. And I was saying this earlier, but I was researching the etymology of the word Kaddish last night. I already knew some of it, but I learned something new, which is, so there's this Semitic root. Do I have the Wikipedia page up? I should. Then I can do it more justice. Yes, Semitic root, KDS. Trait DS is a triconsonantal Semitic root meaning sacred or holy, derived from a concept central to ancient Semitic religion. So we're talking about ancient Canaanitic religion, right? And today it's pronounced as Kaddish, like when we say prayers over wine or bread at Shabbat, we say Kaddish, right? That's the same Semitic root, QDS. It's also the word kadosh, right? Like when you recite the prayer Kedusha, kadosh, kadosh, kadosh. That if you've said that in synagogue, right? That's quoting from the book of Isaiah, when Isaiah saw angels at the foot of God. Kadosh means holy. But there are some other things that it means as well. There's a city on the Syrian coast named Kadesh that was destroyed more than 3,000 years ago. And in that city there was a goddess, also by that name. Here's an image of her, right? And in this image, you'll notice that there's a goddess and two gods. And the goddess rides a lion, and she holds serpents and flowers. And you'll notice that one of the gods to her side has a large erection. Isn't that interesting? Turns out that if you look in the Torah and you look at admonitions against prostitution in the Torah, they use that same word, Kaddisha. Let me see. What does it mean? I have this Wikipedia page. It will tell me all the things. Hebrew. Sacred prostitute. Kaddish, yes, is a word derived from this KDS root used in the Hebrew Bible to describe a particular sort of woman. And I just think that's amazing. I just think that that's so amazing, that Kaddish, holy, and prostitute have the same root word. And that's your little fact for today. Kaddish and prostitute, holy and prostitute, holy prostitutes. So, we're going to say Kaddish now. And today, what Kaddish means is a prayer of mourning. So we can say Kaddish for all of those people who died yesterday of coronavirus, and for all other sources of death and injustice that have plagued the living since our lineage began 3.8 billion years ago, right? Every living thing on this chart lived and died and suffered, and we can say Kaddish for all of them. And if there is anyone that you are mourning today, anything that you are grieving, please put it in the comments. Have that take up our shared space, right? Because we all have this power, right? We have this collective power together. We have this little chat box, and we can fill that chat box with whatever we want. And right now, I'd ask that you fill it with those that you are mourning, that which you are grieving, so that can be what is in our mind. That's where our attention is. And we can hold all those names and ideas and images together in our minds as we say the following ancient words. Yitkadal Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah B'yalma Difrach Yute V'yamlich Mal Chute B'chayachon V'yomechon V'chayedekol Be Yisrael B'gala V'zman Kari V'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Miv'arach Li'olam Olmei Olmaya Yitbrach V'ishtabach V'yitba'ar V'yiram V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei D'Kudisha B'richu Le'elam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata D'yamivan B'yoma V'imru Amen. Yesh Labar Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim Aleinu V'yachol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'imramav Huya Aseh Shalom Aleinu V'yachol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oh, say shalom mimramav. Oh, say shalom aleinu. V'alechol Yisrael. V'imru. V'imru. Amen. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It means a great deal. Can someone explain what this is? Well, this is over, but it's a live stream of prayer. I say these words every day because they make me feel better. And I hope they make you feel better too. So we're going to have breakfast now. Yes, I'm Jewish. We're going to have breakfast now. I'm going to turn the camera around. And I have to put Beatrice away first. Okay. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to shift onto Discord. So if you're a member of my Discord server, and you want to have some breakfast with me, you can. If enough people show up on Discord, I will turn TikTok off so that I can actually talk with you without performing. Oh, hey, you're hungry. You're hungry. That's good. You see him eat? Look at him eating. There he is. The cell phone camera is just doesn't have the kind of dynamic focus as the other one. All good timing. Hey, Coven Commune. Okay. So, I'm going to put Beatrice down. And then I'm going to shift the cameras and we're going to move on to Discord. And if enough people show up on Discord, I will turn TikTok off and we can chat on Discord. But otherwise, I'll just stay here and we'll have some breakfast. And then I'm going to go move some goats, as is my pattern. Thank you for your presence this morning, Sarah. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. Oh. Hey. Can I show you? Okay, so now it's very far away. You can't really see Beatrice at all. But I'm gonna give him a little bit more nectar. There you are. Okay. Yeah, I can smell that nectar fermenting. Oh, wow. What is that? Look at me in the mirror. That's very good. That's why I fill my room with mirrors, so that I can have interesting shots like this. That's a really cool shot. Y'all probably don't care. Alright. So, what's happening? Breakfast time. Breakfast time. I need to get Beatrice new nectar. Otherwise, he's gonna get drunk. Okay, so we're gonna turn this around. Turn it around. Hey, there we are. There's me in a screen. There's the Ouroboros. You can see it reflected everywhere.